Hello, everybody, and welcome to the View from Row Z. We've got some breaking news for you today here, Friday, the 17th of Feb. And that breaking news is that Lee Mason will no longer officiate in the Premier League. And what's your take on this breaking news?
Yeah, left by mutual consent, by the sounds of it. Obviously, Howard Webber's had the conversation, and obviously Lee Mason has decided, but it obviously decided between the two of them that it's time to call it a day. And um, I mean, it's VAR is there to make these decisions, more based on fact. What you've got something in front of you, you've got plenty of screens, you've got all the evidence you need, all the technology you need. All you need to do is draw some lines. And to be honest, if at the highest level of refereeing in this country, you can't draw a line, and that's what you've been trained to do, and that's what you're paid to do, then the questions have to be asked, and I think the answer's been given tonight.
Absolutely. And what surprised me was that he has been a Premier League referee for 15 years, which I didn't realise. But the interesting thing is, if you think about what the table would look like, the narrative would be had Arsenal won that match. They didn't necessarily deserve to win the match, but Brentford missed their chances, right? And this was a not legit goal. So they might have won that match 1-0. So they're actually 2 points clear of City with the game in hand. The narrative about losing to Man City would be different. They're now like, oh, City are ahead, that's it now. Whereas Arsenal will still be ahead in the game in hand had this error not happened. Probably. We can't say for sure, of course. So it could have consequences. Imagine they get to the end of the season and they're a point behind City.
Oh,
and they get 2
I
points.
think you'd be heartbroken, wouldn't you? It's fine margins, and VAR is there, as I said, to eliminate this sort of error, and in terms of offsides or whatever. But
it was so bad. It was so bad because you could see on the naked eye from the picture that it was offside, and then obviously you'd go, "Oh, that looks offside. Let's draw the line." It's not like it was so tight you couldn't even see that it might look offside. It was absolutely terrible, and that's the second one he's done us on this year. It was the Man United away was the last one, which is our first loss of the season. He ruled out a goal, not as clean cut as this one. This was like so clear and obvious. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's not a completely unexpected outcome. You would expect, obviously, if a referee makes a massive error in a game, it's not unusual for them to be benched for a few weeks, perhaps. But yeah, if you're on VAR, it's an error of that magnitude. He's obviously lost his gig altogether. So I don't know whether he'll turn up in the EFL, in the Championship, maybe refereeing. But historically, he's a decent referee. But that's a massive error to be in that level of his profession. So.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good to see some accountability coming in there. But actually, speaking out, because we're negging on the referee here, but I don't say in the Arsenal Man City game, I thought Anthony Taylor did a pretty good job considering the stakes of that match and how fired up the teams were, particularly as they were surrounding the ref on occasions. I thought he had a pretty calm, good game. There was one moment I thought he was losing it with quite a few yellow cards, but actually it was City's ill discipline with the walking back onto the pitch and the time wasting and that sort of thing.
Yeah, he kept the game. He kept the game rolling. He added the right sort of injury time on. Obviously, a lot of pressure with the penalty decisions. One overturned with VAR, and the one that was given for the Ederson foul, which I think was a penalty. I can see why some people would say it's not a penalty because Nketiah's played the ball and it's been going into the net before it's cleared. I think it's by Ake. But yeah, it was he took him out. It's a penalty. It's one of those ones that can be given. It might not be given another day, but I can see why he's given it. And he had to be strong in the face of everyone rushing up to him, which seems to in some games you've got referees handing out yellow cards for a third person going up to compare a decision, and in other games you've got 8-9 players surrounding a referee, and there's no yellow cards being handed out for that. So consistency comes up a lot, but and Anthony Taylor did very well on Wednesday.
Cool. I think that's probably it on referees. So Thanks for tuning in and listening to this breaking news.